LEGO Simpsons is one of the smallest LEGO themes ever made, with just 4 sets and 2 minifigure packs. But somehow, LEGO still managed to hide enough Easter eggs and references that I can make an entire video about them. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. From obvious references like the old man yells at cloud meme, to tiny ones you'd never even notice, like the air conditioner Homer borrowed from Ned Flanders. Today, I'll be showing you 24 small details you missed in LEGO Simpsons, starting with some in the Simpsons house set. The Simpsons family car has a dent built into the design on purpose, which is the complete opposite of what you'd normally expect from a LEGO set. The official LEGO description even jokes about it, saying, "Because only in a LEGO world are dents a plus." In the show, Homer crashes this car constantly. It's literally always falling apart, and yet somehow it just keeps running. That dent in particular has been on the car since season 1, so even though it's technically a flaw, it's a very important and famous detail that makes the car complete. Obviously, Homer's behavior with this car is anything but good, but it might be even worse with his next door neighbor, Ned Flanders. Homer is literally always stealing stuff from Ned, whether it's a lawnmower, a bunch of fans to power a wind turbine, or his literal credit card. Ned always has something that Homer wants, but one of his most memorable robberies is when he stole Ned's air conditioner. He took it right out of his window and put a hole in the wall of his own house just to be able to use it. In the LEGO set, it's attached to Lisa's room on the 2nd floor, and it reads clear as day, property of Ned Flanders. Because of how famous this stealing gag has been over the years, LEGO couldn't make this set without referencing it. The thing is though, Homer's not the only one causing chaos in the neighborhood. Bart's skateboard ramp has his signature El Bardo graffiti tag on it, which makes sense since that's where he'd be skating. But here's where it gets interesting. The same tag is also on the dumpster behind the Quickie Mart and on the wall of the back of the Krusty Burger. LEGO made sure Bart's vandalism spread across these 3 sets, so if you own all 3 and display them together, it's like Bart's been causing trouble all over Springfield, just like how he would in the show. It's such a cool way to connect the sets and make them feel like they're part of the same world instead of just standalone builds. But now that I'm thinking about it, there's something I forgot to tell you about the family car. If you open the trunk, you'll find a glowing green radioactive bar from the nuclear power plant. But why is it there? Well, in the opening credits for literally every Simpsons episode, Homer is seen handling some sort of radioactive tube at work. But his shift ends, and instead of putting it down carefully, he stops caring about it, and it flies into his shirt. So this green tube in the trunk is a reference to how clumsy Homer is, even when he's handling something that could literally kill him. Anyways, now that the car is out of the way, let's head inside the house, because there are just as many details in there as there are on the outside. First off, the living room TV is playing the Itchy and Scratchy Show, which is the ultra-violent cartoon that Bart and Lisa watch religiously. For anyone who doesn't know, Itchy and Scratchy is basically Tom and Jerry, but way more violent and ridiculous. It's referenced constantly throughout the series, so putting it on the TV instead of leaving it blank shows LEGO actually cared about the small stuff. Most people would have just made the TV one solid color and moved on, but LEGO really went the extra mile. Moving upstairs to Bart's bedroom, his lucky red hat is on top of his bookshelf, but it's designed not to fit on his head. The hat's too small to go over his hairpiece, so you physically can't put it on him even if you wanted to. This is LEGO making a meta joke about their own limitations. They knew people would try to put the hat on Bart, and they knew it wouldn't work, so they just leaned into it. It's sitting there as an accessory piece, taunting you because you can't actually use it the way you want to. On the same floor, there's also a picture of Grandpa Simpson at the top of the staircase. This is a really nice detail that LEGO could have easily left out, since Grandpa doesn't live in the house. But including it really shows how meticulous the designers were with every little part of this set. But they didn't stop there, because they did the same thing for the minifigures too. Homer and Bart's minifigures changed LEGO forever, and most people don't even know about it. Their arms are molded in 2 separate colors instead of being painted. Homer has white upper arms for his shirt and yellow lower arms for his skin. Before the Simpsons theme, LEGO had never done this. If they wanted different colored arms, they'd either paint them or just abandon the idea and make the whole arm one color. Bart's arms and legs are the same way too. His shorts are a different color than his legs, and his upper arms are a different color than his lower arms. This technique became standard after the Simpsons theme, so now pretty much every minifigure with different colored molds uses this technique. The Simpsons theme literally changed how LEGO makes minifigures, so not only is it super memorable, but it changed LEGO as we know it. Alright, now that we've covered the house, let's move on to the Quickie Mart, because this set might have even more details than the house. Inside the freezer, there's a guy named Jasper frozen solid in a block of ice. In the episode Lisa the Simpson, Jasper freezes himself so he can wake up in the future, and he turns into a tourist attraction at the Quickie Mart called Frostilicus. This is a pretty famous bit in the show, so most of you probably knew exactly what it was, but let's see if that's the case for this next reference. If you look at the top of the Quickie Mart, you'll find a very out-of-place vegetable garden. So why is it here? Well, in the episode Lisa the Vegetarian, Apu reveals that he's actually vegan and takes Lisa up to the roof to show her his secret garden. He tells her he comes up here to escape the world, like he can't be vegan in public or something. Lego adding this garden shows they weren't just pulling references from popular episodes, they were going deep. Most companies would just have the store itself, but Lego added this tiny detail that most people wouldn't even know to look for. The details don't stop there though. If you look closely at the newspapers in the Quickie Mart, you'll see a guy named Bumblebee Man on one of them, and this guy is barely in the show. He's a Spanish-speaking TV actor in a Bumblebee costume, who usually only appears for a few seconds at a time. So Lego putting him on a background newspaper that most people will never notice is the definition of a small hidden detail. You have to actively search for it, and even then you might miss it. Don't think we're done with the Quickie Mart though, because around back in the storage closet, there's a rat, cheese, and a rat hole. The Quickie Mart is constantly shown to be kinda gross throughout the show, with expired food and questionable hygiene. So Lego adding a full-on rat infestation to the storage area is perfect. It's not something you'd normally expect Lego to add, but it makes the set authentic. But Lego pays attention to detail across everything, even TV. In the Simpsons crossover episode, Brick Like Me, Baby Maggie is made out of Duplo instead of regular Lego. Duplo is Lego's toddler line with bigger pieces, so using it for Maggie is genius. Homer even says,
"Oh, they're so cute when they're Duplo."
in the episode. It's one of the funniest visual gags in the whole thing, and it works really well because everyone knows what Duplo is. The crazy part about that episode is that it took over 2 years to animate, which is way longer than the usual 6 to 8 months for a regular Simpsons episode. Animating everything in Lego instead of the show's usual style was incredibly time consuming. And here's the crazy part, the Simpsons team didn't even know about the Lego movie until late in production. Both the Brick Like Me episode and the Lego movie were being made at the same time, without either team knowing what the other was doing. So any similarities are completely coincidental. 2 years for one episode is insane, but when you watch it, honestly, it makes sense. One thing I haven't talked about yet though are minifigures, and one that I absolutely have to talk about is Grandpa Simpson. Grandpa's minifigure comes with a newspaper that says "Old Man Yells at Cloud." If you've been on the internet at any point in the last 10 years, you've seen this meme before. It's used constantly to make fun of people complaining about nothing, and it's one of the most famous images from the entire show. Lego could have put anything on that tile piece, but they chose something that everybody can laugh at, and it worked out perfectly. Another thing I haven't talked about yet is the Krusty Burger set that came out this year. This was one of the biggest pieces of Lego news in all of 2025. So of course Lego had to deliver and absolutely pack this set with references. So let's go over a few of them. The first one is actually advertised on Lego's website. When you scroll through the pictures, you'll find this weird picture of Homer scooping Lego transparent tiles into the trunk of his car. To regular people, this is just another picture in the listing, but to die-hard Simpsons fans, this is a reference to season 6, episode 15, Homie the Clown, when Homer drove over to the Krusty Burger and started stealing grease right from the grease trap. He was trying to sell it to make a profit, which is very typical for Homer. But this isn't the only reference to this episode in the Krusty Burger set. The car itself is actually a reference too. So far, every set for The Simpsons has a car in it. The Simpsons house had the regular family car, and the Quickie Mart had Chief Wiggum's car, so Lego continued the trend with the Krusty Burger set, but they made it look completely different. You might be wondering why Homer would ever drive around in a clown car, but if you've seen the episode Homie the Clown, you already know the answer. In this episode, Homer sees a billboard for clown school and gets a job as Krusty the Clown. The entire episode is dedicated to Homer living his new clown life, so of course his whip had to get a makeover. It's crazy though, because there's still another reference to this episode in the Krusty Burger set. This episode has one of the funniest scenes ever, where the Hamburglar is fake stealing giant burgers for an ad campaign, and instead of going along with it, Homer beats the bricks out of it. The kids in the audience are completely traumatized, and one of them even begs Homer to stop.
Stop! He's already dead.
Once some people finally pull Homer off of him, it's clear he's in bad shape, but he might have been in worse shape than we thought, because on the back of the Krusty Burger, there's a missing poster with his face on it. This is obviously a reference to the clip of the kid yelling that he's dead, and I have to say, this reference is really well done. There's some other stuff on the wall next to this poster that are references too. I already talked about Bart's graffiti tag and how it really ties all three sets together, but the other stuff is referencing Sideshow Bob. In season 6, he ran for mayor of Springfield, so that's why the voting sticker is there. But if you notice, there's also a voting sticker for a rake. In any other universe, this wouldn't make any sense, but as we all know, Sideshow Bob has some really bad luck when it comes to stepping on rakes. For some reason, they always seem to find him, and he always steps on them and hits himself in the face. It's really cool how everything here is referencing certain episodes, and there's a sticker inside that keeps that train going. Right next to the entrance to the play place, there's a poster on the wall advertising the Mother Nature Burger, but considering how that went, they should probably just take it down. This is from the finale of season 20, Coming to Homerica, when the Krusty Burger gets named the unhealthiest fast food place in the world.
Studies show your Krusty Burger is the unhealthiest fast food item in the world.
Krusty tried to fight the allegations by making a vegetarian burger, otherwise known as the Mother Nature Burger, but one of the ingredients got contaminated by rat meat. Ew, dude. So not only was it not vegetarian, but everyone ended up getting food poisoning too. Oh, and just like how the car was made after the Homie the Clown episode, Krusty's minifigure is based on his outfit from Coming to Homerica, which is a really nice touch. To end the video, I'm going to show you the most famous detail in all of LEGO Simpsons. Pretty much every set in the BrickHeadz theme has a fun Easter egg inside of them somewhere. Woody from Toy Story has a stuffing piece, Eve from WALL-E has a plant, you get the idea. The Easter eggs are always references to the character. Another thing BrickHeadz always have though are pink 2x2 bricks for brains, but Homer has something a little different. Because of how stupid he is, they gave him a 1x1 plate instead. If there was a way to somehow cram a crayon in there too, that would have been sick. But I'm definitely not complaining about the plate piece. So those are 25 small details in LEGO Simpsons. Which one surprised you the most? Let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe.